This is Keep Right by Ralph K. Ginorio, printed in the Coeur d'Alene Press, March the 29th, 2022. Together we can avert any coming famine. Starvation in America. I never would have thought it possible. However, global crises could severely blight the coming year's harvests around the world. Widespread famine could be in store for us all, even here in the United States, unless we take bold action now. Biden's policies have already brought us high energy prices, sparking inflation worse than anything in 40 years. Now, the loss of Ukrainian and Russian wheat have shaken futures market for basic foodstuffs worldwide. Making things worse, restrictive environmental regulations constrain United States chemical companies from producing sufficient fertilizer for the domestic and foreign markets. Federal ethanol regulations force food and feed corn to be diverted to make an unnecessary fuel additive. Franklin Delano Roosevelt-era agricultural regulation has made it U.S. policy to pay growers not to produce food for nearly 90 years. I've always believed that American farmers can feed the world. This may be put to the test coming soon, because the delicate global trade network is splintering. Desperate people often entrust elites with supreme power that they would never confer in normal times. Are there those among us who see opportunities to expand their influence in a man-made famine? International plutocrats crave a great reset that would restore feudalism. Environmental fanatics want to significantly lower human population, living a conspicuously more frugal lifestyle than that typical in the post-World War II West. Famine could serve their cause. Putin's war in the Ukraine has intensified these strains, and behind most of this is the Chinese Communist Party's craving to conquer Taiwan, punish Japan, overawe India, and displace the United States as the global hegemon. Hunger in the West could help make these things happen. Wealthy progressives and liberal leaders within the West have publicly uttered statements that encourage the consumption of insects and beans for protein in place of soon-to-be scarce meats and dairy products. Some have even opined that pets could become an emergency food source. Even cannibalism is being floated in some circles as an acceptable option to fight world hunger. These are nightmares out of Soylent Green. None of this need happen. The world has not suddenly and unexpectedly reached a Malthusian population crisis. Techniques for industrial farming can still feed the globe's hungry billions while maintaining the Western living standard. Our leaders need to unleash America's entrepreneurial spirit. Immediately, all restrictions that reduce America's crop yields must be abandoned. Chemical companies must be encouraged to increase their production and distribution of fertilizers to meet the higher demand. Domestic energy production must be restored to Trump-era norms. Humanity can, once again, be saved by the wise actions of everyday Americans in pursuit of their self-interest. Americans of all political backgrounds should unite to encourage our elected officials to cut red tape, neutralize the federal bureaucracies, and unleash the creativity of free Americans to avert any coming famine.